Hi everybody! I've put together this video to help you improve on your turnout for Irish dancing. I've been doing some research recently and found a number of simple exercises that are designed to improve your hip mobility and strength. You may not realise that good turnout of the feet comes from the hips, so if you want to perfect your turnout, you will need to practice exercises like these. I would recommend doing these exercises 3 times a week, maybe on the days you don't have a dance class. Remember to breathe properly during each exercise, and when you see the word rest, you can pause the video and rest for 30 seconds. If you feel any pain during an exercise, you should stop. You will need a bottle of water and a soft mat or blanket for some of the exercises. Let's get started. We're going to start with some Ape Walks. Lower yourself onto the floor into a squatting position. Fists and knuckles on the floor. Slowly walk forward with your knees outside your elbows. You'll probably feel a stretch in your hips and inner thighs. This is good. You might have a small space, so it's okay if you need to do 3 or 4 laps of the room. Try to keep your back straight and sit right down into your hips. Let your legs do all the work. Next, we're going to do some frog jumps. Squat down with your fists on the floor, lean forward onto your fists, and then move your feet up to your fists. Try to keep your heels flat on the floor. We don't want to do big hops. We just want to put our weight on our hands, lean on them, and then let our feet follow behind us. Next, we're going to do some hip flexors. Kneel down, put one leg in front and bend the knee. Stretch out your arm on the same side and lift the behind leg with your other arm. Lean forward, pushing the hips down. Feel a good stretch. Hold this pose for 10 seconds. Now switch to the other side. Lift the other leg in front and bend the knee. Stretch your arm on the same side and with your other hand, lift up the leg that's behind you. Lean forward, push down the hips, and hold this pose for 10 seconds. The next exercise is similar. Kneel down and put your knee out in front. Place your hand on your knee and bring the other hand up to your ear for balance. Look behind you and push the hips downwards to get a nice stretch. Hold this for 10 seconds. And repeat on the opposite side. Now we're going to get into the plie position. Put your feet far apart, a little bit wider than your shoulder width, and point the toes out at a slight angle. Keep the back straight, lower down, keeping your knees over your ankles. Use your core to stay strong and upright. Press back up and squeeze your glutes, the muscles in your bum, and your inner thighs. Do this 10 times. Now for a glute stretch. Lie down on your back and bend your knees. Lift one leg and cross it over the other, making a triangle shape. Now lift the underneath leg into the air and secure it using your hands. Gently pull this lower leg towards you and feel a stretch in your glute or bum muscle on the opposite side. Hold this stretch for 10 seconds. Now switch to the opposite side and again hold this stretch for 10 seconds. Next, you're going to lower yourself onto your hands and knees. Try to keep your back as straight and neutral as you can. Tighten up your tummy and engage your core. Stretch your right leg straight out behind you with a flat, flexed foot. Bring it back in, then lift it up into the air. Bring it back down, then rotate the leg out to the side, keeping the knee bent. We're going to do this 5 times altogether. When your leg goes into the air and then out to the side, try to stay as steady as you can. Keep your core strong and try not to twist your body to follow your leg. Now swap over and try these leg movements with your left leg. Remember, you have to do these 3 leg movements in a set 5 times. Try to keep your tummy or your core as strong as you can so that you're not putting too much pressure on your back. Finally, we're going to finish with some leg pulses. Stand up tall, keep your core strong. Point your toe out in front, then lift the foot up in steady, controlled pulses, up and down 10 times. When the foot goes down, it doesn't touch the floor, it stays in the air. This is also good for your balance. Next, turn your foot out behind you. Point the toe and keep the knee slightly bent. Pulse the foot backwards just a few inches, out and back, 10 times. Keep the tummy strong and the back straight. Try not to overarch your back. Now change sides. Turn the left leg out in front, point the toe, and lift the foot up and down in steady pulses 10 times. Try not to lose your balance. I know it's hard. Try to keep your tummy strong and your back tall and straight. Finally, turn the left leg out behind you, point the toe and keep the knee slightly bent. Pulse the leg out and back, just a few inches behind you. Do this 10 times. Remember, try to keep your core strong and your back as straight as you can. Well done for completing these turnout exercises. Now you can rest. I would recommend doing this exercise series 3 times a week to help strengthen and mobilize your hips and to get the best results for the turnout of your feet in Irish dancing.